go to the head tag, and let me just add, I think I'm missing the head here. Okay, so let me add the style tag. All right, so I have added the style, and I'm going to say dot class one, and let's say that has a color and some font size, and I'm going to say dot class two. So class two, it has this blue color and the font size of 50 pixels. So I have two classes. Now, let's say that whenever I click on this element, I want to change the class from class 1 to class 2, not 12, all right? So from class 1, let's say that I want to change it to class 2. So now I can apply one of these by default. So for example, I can add the class here, so the class attribute, and I can say class 1. And as you notice, it is red by default because I have applied it here. So now we have already created this function, and I'm gonna get rid of this code. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this code, and I'm gonna get rid of this one as well. Okay, so let's start from scratch. So inside the body tag, you see I have this script tag, and I have placed it at the very end. So this is the end of the body tag, and I always place my script here. So all of your content should go above the script tag. All right, so that's it for this one. And let's make a variable. So I'm going to say let header equals to, and then document.get element by ID. I'm going to select that header. So I have stored this header inside of this header variable. You see, I have given it an ID already. It has already that ID, and I have selected that header. So now let's go to the next line. So I can say header dot add event listener. So I'm going to add an event listener to it. So this means whenever I do something, I want to run some function. So I'm going to click, comma, and the name of the function will be toggle class. All right. So this will be toggle class, just like that, and add a semicolon to the end of it. So now you see, now even if I click on it, it's trying to run the toggle class function, but it doesn't have the function, it cannot find it, so it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to place that function here. So I'm going to say function right here. So function toggle class, and I'm going to open two parentheses and two curly braces. Okay, so it's right here. See, this is function toggle class, and inside the curly braces, we are going to do something. I'm going to copy this whole thing. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So let header document by get element by ID header, cite that, and right below it, we are going to say, we are going to add an if statement. So we are going to say if, but before I do that, actually, let's just change it. So I'm going to say header dot class list dot toggle, and I can change it to class 2 or class 2 right here. So you see, by default, I have given it the class 1, and I want to change it to class 2. So if I one click on it, you see it's going to change it to class 2. And now if I click on it again, it's going to go back to this one. So the first one and the second one, the first one and the second one. However, if you have not, let's say that we have not given it this class, all right? So let's say that we have not given it this class 1 to this element. If I click on it, you see that it's going to change it to class 2, but if I click on it one more time, it's going to change it to the default one. It doesn't have it. So this is not what we want. We want to make an if statement. So right here, I'm going to make an if statement, and I'm going to say if element class list contains class 1. So right below it, let me just get rid of this. So I'm going to say if, and open two parentheses, if header dot class list dot contains, so contains, and you open two parentheses, say that. So if it contains class 1, we are going to run, or we are going to remove class 1. So you see it says header dot class list remove class 1 and add header class 2. So we are going to do the same thing. And else, if it's something else, we are going to say header class list remove class 2 and do the opposite. So now let's click on it. So you see by default, when you refresh it on the browser, it's going to show you the default, element, because we have not added that class name to it. So now let's click on it. You see it's going to change it to red, which is class 1. And now if I click on it again, it should change the class to class 2. So it should change it to this one. So you should change it to blue and font size 50 pixels. So let's click on it. As you notice, it has changed it to the second one. Now it should go back to this one, the first one. So now you see it's back to the first one. Now we are going to, you see we are switching between this class and this one by using this if statement. So this is the code that we have. We have declared a function. All right, we named it toggle class, and we have opened two curly braces. Now right here, we have selected the header. So we have, you see we have used document.getElement by ID header, and we are selecting this ID. You see right here, I have it here. And we are making a condition. So we are saying if header class list has the class 1, so contains class 1. If it contains class 1, if this is true, all right, so this is true, we are applying this code. So we are removing class 1, and we are adding the class 2. So, and if it's the opposite, so we are saying else change, remove the class 2 and add class 1. And right here, what this code does is that it's basically attaching the event. So it's attaching the click event. So whenever I click on this element, all right, so header, you see I have header again here, and I'm getting the header by ID here. So right here, I'm saying header.add event listener. So now whenever we click on that specific header, we are running this function, which is toggle class. So you see, it basically changes the classes. So this is how you change CSS with JavaScript. So I hope you liked the video, everyone, and I hope that this video was not difficult. So I hope that you will like the video and subscribe to my channel.